I look out the window in the morning and I expect to see the horses. I come down the hallway and look out the upstairs window and nothing there.
It's not what Christine Dodge had in mind.
Just feels kind of empty.
When she and her husband Mike took a Wyoming County cornfield 20 years ago and turned it into a place of love.
We had 30 horses at one time.
The horse rescue opened as a safe haven for animals abused and unwanted.
That was what we'd hoped for, so that they'd have green grass to graze on and shelters to keep them out of the weather and people to take care of them.
When we met Chris and Mike last fall, they needed someone to help take care of them. Mike had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. Donations to the farm were down. Volunteers were scarce.
We put everything we had, all of our savings and our insurance policies and everything were cashed in years ago to keep the rescue up and going.
Life sometimes works in mysterious ways. A few years earlier, the Dodges had met a woman who'd been interested in taking in a few of their horses.
When I heard their story, I know how upset I was when I found out I had cancer and had animals to take care of.
Mariel Opart had kept in touch with Mike and Chris, and after learning of their latest struggles this past March, agreed to take in the rest of their horses.
The last two were just being loaded onto the trailer.
It was at that time that Chris went to the house to check on her husband.
And when I went in, he was taking his last breaths. So he was waiting.
Waiting, she says, for them to be safe.
He knew. He knew.
Yeah, he's a boy. Good boy.
It is only fitting that Mariel calls her farm Do-Over Acres.
I get along nicely with horses. They've taught me a lot about patience. They've taught me to just hang in there. When I asked the vet about his weight, he said he liked the weight on these two.
Yeah.
For Christine, the farm is a place where she finds comfort in knowing that her horses are cared for.
It was everything to Mike. I mean, the rescue was our mission. It was our life for the last 20 years.
Since the horses were brought here to the new farm, Chris says she's able to make it out about twice a week. Still, that 45-minute drive from her old place is bittersweet.
Allowed me to grieve as I need to grieve, to have some quiet time. I can come out here anytime I want.
The old farm remains Christine's home. She still has her cats, nearly a dozen of them, and her dog, Shadow. Fences, which once held the horses she and Mike saved, have been torn down. Stables are empty.
They learn, don't ya? Yeah.
But in Mariel and her farm, with its spacious pastures for rescue horses to roam free, Christine has found a godsend.
It's a perfect place, and I'm just so relieved and so happy to know that they're going to be cared for and that the rescue is going to go on.
Seth Voorhees, YNN.